Bam, we're live. Good morning. Looks like was there an Apple update last night? My computer's tripping. Tripping. Good to see you guys. Greg Glassman. I saw that Sousa confirmed the show with him. But I didn't see his response. But Greg's always here. I'm sure he'll be here. Good to see you guys. Giddy up. Giddy up. Guten Tag. Brian Clark, good morning. Sean, yo. Good to see you. I haven't seen this before. CrossFit. Good morning. Good name. Miss Radow. Good to see you. Good morning. Ryan, from a tent somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. Good to see you. Good morning. Did I miss anyone? Miss Essentials. Good morning. Good to see you guys. How about this? First, before I play this, let me tell you what. You guys ever heard of this organization called DARPA? DARPA. DARPA is the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency. I think DARPA is the one that made all our COVID vaccines, and they just put the Pfizer stamp on it. I think DARPA made COVID vaccine. I think DARPA made them. I think that's known now. It says DARPA did not directly manufacture the COVID-19 vaccines themselves, but they played a critical foundational role in developing. Yeah, I think DARPA, okay, they developed mRNA technology, and then they just had the labs at Pfizer make them, I think. Moderna Labs. Yeah, DARPA. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency. DARPA. I wonder what their wiki page says. I think they do some pretty crazy shit. Let me see one more thing. And then I want to play you this clip I saw this morning. Cutting edge research and development agency that pushes the boundaries of what's possible in an energetic environment with excellent benefits. DARPA? Do they have a wiki page? They're within the United States Department of Defense. Is that the Department of War? That funds and manages research programs aimed at developing breakthrough technologies for U.S. national security. Okay. So they're cutting edge in order to help us with national security. They work with universities, industry, government. DARPA is the agency that shaped modern world and credited it with helping seed a range of technologies. They made the internet. That's what it says here. They made the internet, GPS, stealth technologies. I don't even know what that is. 220 government employees and 6 technical offices. Oh, so it's small. Started in 1958. Anyway, they got a pretty crazy history. But I saw this yesterday, and I was like, oh, or maybe no, I saw this morning. This is what I was fed this morning. I have not looked into this at all. Who knows? Just spreading vicious rumors. Here we go.
Facebook movie is a giant lie.
The Facebook movie is a giant lie. It's a propaganda movie.
A propaganda piece. That was a Pentagon program called Lifelog. Lifelog is a Pentagon program that wants to collect all your data for your whole life. What day did the government stop the Lifelog project?
Whoa. DARPA shut down the Lifelog project February 4th, 2004.
What day was Facebook registered as a business?
Oh my God. No way, bro.
The exact same day. They don't even hide it, dude.
It was created by DARPA.
Yeah. They handed it to Mark Zuckerberg. And then the Vossel twins.
What about the other? Yeah.
That's all. And that's why they became the first Bitcoin millionaires, because they played ball. It's all theater, dude.
So what is the purpose of Lifelog?
To collect all your data for your whole entire life. The whole Facebook.
Thoughts? I mean, that's only one data point. But if you do look up Lifelog, Lifelog was DARPA's ambitious project in 2003 or 4, designed to create a comprehensive, searchable digital record of an individual's entire life, capturing every conversation, location, phone call, and media consumption, aiming at building a digital diary. And the year that it was shut down is the day Facebook became official. I mean, I don't know. On one level, I don't know if I care what they collect. Impossible to avoid these days. Just submit. But you think Zuck's federal employee and the Willen Wasson twins? You think that whole thing was just part of an elaborate story? God, that seems so elaborate. This dude's always making some crazy connections. Yeah, is that? I mean, that's the thing. Okay, I'd never seen that guy. So it's just people making crazy connections. And God knows there are all sorts of just insane coincidences out there. Insane. I mean, how many times a day are you thinking of someone and they call you? I saw Crenshaw, Dan Crenshaw's toast. He didn't get reelected. He's out. I don't know anything about him. I don't really know anything about him. I just know people don't like him. Crenshaw lost. Praise the Lord. I just know he just gets beat up on Instagram. I don't know if you guys noticed yesterday I was having trouble like clearing my throat. I was doing that a lot. Like my voice didn't sound like my voice. Today it's back, but this morning I woke up with the craziest sore throat. I don't know what that is. I don't feel sick. People seem to hate Crenshaw. He wrote an awesome book during the pandemic called Fortitude. I loved it. I think the only thing I know is like, the only thing I remember hearing is that he made a lot of money in the stock market, and then people started hating on him and started calling him a rhino. I think a rhino is when you're a Republican, but you vote with the Democrats. Basically, if you're not a MAGA Republican. Oh, geez. Wow. Cannot read that this early in the morning. Even that's a lot for me. He's as good at investing as Pelosi. Ian Smith exposed him during COVID. The guy who opened the gym during COVID. Oh yeah, I remember that guy. Couldn't get that guy on the show. I tried. Oh wow! Republicans in name only. Can you believe that? I didn't know that. I didn't know that's what. Wow. That's crazy. That's what the liberals think of Larry Elder. They think of him as black in skin only. What would that be? Black in skin only. Black in skin only. A biso. That's what they thought of Malcolm X. Larry Elder. Thomas Sowell. A biso, black in skin only. His downfall was his insane aggressiveness defending his line about his sudden wealth and his World Economic Forum ties. I started watching the entire Hillary Clinton deposition. I made it 2 hours into it. Man, she's really believable. I'm getting all the time codes. I'm going to do a show with Taylor and play him the clips and just get his reaction to him. And then I'm going to do the same with the Bill Clinton deposition. There is a part in there where I think it's Nancy Mace is asking Hillary how she felt when she sees the photos with him in hot tubs and getting massaged by young girls. And Hillary dances around it. Man, Hillary is polished. And I haven't watched like more than 5 minutes of Bill's, But Bill's a shaking mess. Bill's an old man, like a real old man. Like when he's drinking his water, he's a shivering mess. She came prepared. No one can argue that. Yeah, she was. She was prepared. Oh, Colin Powell. They called him a biso. Yeah, probably. Yeah, Bill looked. You know when a man becomes so feeble that you're like, oh yeah, your wife can now beat you up? That's where he's at. You know what I mean? Like Joe Biden could beat up Joe Biden in a fight. Like that's where they're at. Like she would easily kick his ass. I guess right at the beginning of the hearing when they're interviewing her or cross-examining her. So so the first 10 minutes they're just laying down the rules. And one of the things that's contentious is about 30 minutes into the interview, her lawyer says, "Hey man, photos are coming out of here and that's against the rules that you stated." There's photos being published of Hillary Clinton being, on the stand here or, being questioned. And the congressional people who are interviewing her apologize and say, sorry, that was wrong. But then they also point out two things. They said, hey, that photo was taken before we put down the rules, which is kind of like, it's a nuance. It's interesting. But also then they said because when Hillary sat down, she read an opening statement. They're like, Miss Clinton, are you ready to begin the questioning? After they read her all the rules, right? And she swears in and all that stuff. And she goes, yeah, I'm ready to start, but I want to start with an opening statement. So she reads an opening statement and they said, hey, you also gave your opening statement. You leaked it to the press. And she goes, I didn't leak it to the press. I gave it to the press because I wanted them to know. And so the rules were that like nothing would come out for 24 hours until it was reviewed. And both sides, one side released her opening statement, and then the other side released a photo. And another thing that's interesting is they basically say that no one's allowed to talk about what went on in there until the transcripts are and the videos released. And I do remember that right after it was done, they did do a press conference and they talked about what was said in there. I haven't heard anyone push back on that, but that sounds like that was a fuck up too. Hillary wanted a public deposition, but I think the Republicans said no because they didn't want a spectacle. I don't understand why they said no. I don't really know. I mean, I think the Republicans wanted a spectacle. I don't know why they said no. At one point after they released the photo of her, her lawyers say, hey, we're not going to continue this unless you let the press in right now and let them all in. And then they take a break and they come back and they continue, and that's never addressed again. Hillary wanted to do it live, right? She's such a good liar. Yeah, if she's lying, she is an amazing liar. If she's, I mean, holy shit. If she's lying, she's an amazing liar. I haven't seen her in the first hour and 30 minutes or 2 hours, however much I watched. I haven't seen her lie yet. I haven't seen anything where she's lying. They ask her like, "Hey, do you know Epstein?" And she's basically like, "No." And then they're like, "Well, here's an email. You're basically inviting him to an event." And she's like, "That's my assistant inviting him to an event." And there were, 500 people at that event. They invite all sorts of people I don't know. And I guess later on they show her, I haven't seen this part yet, but they show her a picture of her and Epstein together. But she's like, yeah, I've taken pictures with shitloads of people. And her connection to Ghislaine Maxwell is that, what's the connection? The connection is that Ghislaine was dating a guy named Tim Waite. I haven't researched him yet. And Tim Waite was friends with Chelsea. So when Chelsea invited Tim Waite to her wedding, he brought his girlfriend at the time, who was Ghislaine, to the wedding. That's the story that. Yeah, Ghislaine. You got a better name for her? She had perfected deflection. The only thing that I've seen her I don't think she does any deflection. When they ask her repeatedly, like, basically, like, "Yo, bitch, this is your husband getting fucking felt up by a young girl. That doesn't piss you off?" And she's like, "Hey, I'm really not here. I'm not here to talk about that." I don't think that's deflecting. That's just like, "Hey, I don't want to talk about that." Ghislaine, that's what I call my wife's vagina. 3217 Ghislaine Drive. Not bad. Oh, they tickled each other? Is that what he goes on to say? Jeez. I can't recall meeting. Is that a deflection? Like, I feel like that's half the people I meet. 80% of the people I meet. I just can't recall meeting them. She won't comment on speculation. Yeah. Bill exonerated Trump. They're closing ranks and protecting each other. Nothing will happen. I know that was interesting, right? And the whole time, Trump has been saying that he doesn't like the fact that they're bringing the president for a deposition. But I mean, Bill is jacked up. Bill is not in good shape. How old is Bill Clinton? Is he? How old is Bill Clinton? Is he 90? He's 79. God, he seems like he's 20 years older than how old is Trump? Oh, they're the exact same age. God, Bill Clinton seems way older than Trump. I mean, he's wrecked. Yeah, Bill's entertaining for sure. For sure. He almost doesn't give a fuck. It almost seems like he doesn't give a fuck. Fat says it's the prisoner's dilemma. If no one snitches, no one's caught. Classic microeconomic decision making. Yeah, but Bill, like Trump, you don't really see Trump. Trump's not like falling apart yet. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes his hair's crazy and his skin's crazy. I will say this: what was fascinating is Hillary. And I think this is the issue that people have with Trump. He doesn't talk like a politician. He doesn't talk like them. Like, all those guys have their own vernacular and their own semantics and their own way of addressing things. Like, they speak a different language than us, right? And they have this they have this I don't know if paradigm is the right word. They have a code. I don't know what the word is, but Hillary talks it. And that's the thing with Trump. It's so funny hearing them. I've forgotten that how stiff politicians can be and how they live in this world with like these certain words. I don't know. Bill Clinton sounds great when he calls into the show. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, when he calls into the show, his voice is much stronger. I couldn't give you accurate details of the last leak, let alone July 18th, 2009. Yeah, I know. I agree. And especially think of all the people she's met. Bill does remember the girls' names, though, which is pretty funny. The girls who are like on the Lolita Express and the massage girls and the spa girls. Oh shit. Greg's trying to get in and he can't get in. Let me see what's going on. Shit. Jeez. Sloppy, Sevi. Sloppy. Maybe he'll come in now. Oh, there he is. God, that was my fault. Sorry, dude. That's probably my fault.
You know what? It seemed like it thought I was you or something.
We had that problem the other day when we had Tyson Bajan on. We had to actually give him login access to the account to get him on the show. I don't know what happened.
It was telling me that it couldn't find my recordings. And I was like, what the fuck would that be? So I go to the recordings tab and I don't have any.
That sounds like I sent you the wrong link.
That's what I'm thinking. Like it was something for your end.
Yeah, I send you the link when I'm half asleep in my underwear.
Good.
Now,
we are.
And now I'm 3/4 awake. Hey, did you tell Trump to get the Navy?
Yeah.
I swear, I know we've gone over this a bunch of times, but even
I'm like, if it flies, I'd make it so it couldn't. If it floats, I'd sink it.
I remember you saying this for years and years. I know you've said it on this show at least a few times. Like, hey man, Iran has to go away.
Can't wait till they can make mushroom clouds.
Right.
Fuck.
There's reports that they're going to. I don't know who they're going to back, but I guess they're going to give munitions to some rebels on the ground. I don't know. That doesn't. What do you think about that? They're going to have to.
Yeah.
Hey, I did hear something that made me kind of happy. They said, "Hey, we got a problem because we got a million guys who are in the Iranian military who are armed to the teeth, and we don't know how to deal with them. Right? We can't bomb all of them." And that kind of why I like that is that made me think about all the people who are armed in this country and why it's so important we never give up our guns. Like, God, I hope everyone thinks that who thinks about invading us. It's like, shit, fuck their military. Their people are a problem. That just made me even more steadfast in my, belief in the Second Amendment.
It's hey, basically, reason.
Pardon me?
It's there for a reason.
Hey, can they just not allow Muslims in control of that country again? Is that?
No.
That's the deal, right? I mean, I hope someone's thinking. I haven't heard anyone say that part out loud, but that's the deal, right? Like, hey, you just can't have, like, we don't care who takes control. They just can't be Muslim.
I don't think you can do that, but I don't know.
You don't think you can stop it from being Muslims in control? Like, are we just going to get new Muslims?
I don't know how much of it. I don't know what the real sentiment is. Look, when your dictator dresses like that fucking guy,
yeah,
one survival path is to fucking dress like that fucking guy.
I mean, he looks like one of those crazy leaders that we get.
You know, the Israeli spies walking around all got robes on and big beards and shit.
Yeah.
I think that they've got enough intel on the ground that they're going to be able to. I'm guessing they got a list of they've already hacked the essential details of all the personnel. So I imagine Iran's enough of a state to have, eyeball level identification on everyone in every position. And I would expect Israel to have that too.
Do you remember a few years ago you told me a story of Israeli special forces breaking into Iran and backing a truck up to a safe and getting all their information regarding their nuclear facilities? I heard someone mentioning that last night on some news show I was watching.
I remember that. I remember that tale.
And it was a crazy mission, right? They went into it. Israeli forces went into Iran, went to a facility and basically stole all their information. And so last night, someone was saying that was all the information that we've been using now, knowing where to blow everything up.
I would expect us again to have things that look like retinal scan of all the top Revolutionary Guard guys, of everybody, and home addresses and files that include family and all that shit. I know the repressive regime needs that on everybody, right?
Right.
And one of the things that's operative here is that we have a highly intelligent civilization against a barbarous half-witted one. They got nothing other than shits that stems from us, you know? The problem is, it's like if the chimpanzees get the key to the facility, that's Middle Easterners having nuclear weapons. You know, you can't go into the primate enclosure with the keys.
Because?
They'll take them from you and unlock the door.
Right.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, you can't. It's a two-man operation. Anything you do, anything otherwise, the monkey's going to watch, figure it out, and rip your testicles off and split. And your eyeballs. Take your eyeballs out, too. There's an Animal Planet episode, When Pets Kill, and it was half monkeys. It was so fucking good. You interview a guy who doesn't have eyeballs and he's got a prosthetic nose with a elastic strap on.
And you're saying they're not half-wits?
No, I mean, it's like how sophisticated you have to be to do that. They can do that kind of shit.
Do you remember?
Yeah, remember the monkeys and you were saying they should give them big lighters and revolvers?
Yeah, let them take over Kenya. Do you remember this guy sent you a video of his a while back? I want to say he's a professor at Stanford.
Have a nice break, and welcome back to the end of the world. So as you know, World War III has started. The United States and Israel.
Do you remember this guy?
No.
Have started to attack Iran. And we are now in the 4th day of this war. And we can expect this war to last for many weeks, possibly also for many years.
Very extremely popular on YouTube. 1.5 million subscribers, 12,000 comments. What?
What's his name?
What is this guy's name? The station's called Predictive History. I don't know his name. Maybe someone will write it in the Professor Zhang. And he had videos before this that predicted this war coming. But one of the things that I haven't watched this whole video yet, but one of the clips I did see was he was talking about
who didn't predict this war coming?
I know, that's a good point.
Jesus Christ, look what's been going on. Look at the tempo, the up tempo. And now they're fucking partnering with China and Russia. Okay. To do what again? Enslave human beings? Blow people up in cafes? United in what, a hatred of Jews?
I saw some stat. They've done 60,000 terrorist attacks in 40 years. One of the things he talks about is the fact that we're using $1 million missiles to shoot down $25,000 drones. And that it's not sustainable.
No, there's a problem there. But that's openly, you can find that in the New York fucking Times.
Right.
So, yep, there's that.
And then another story I heard, and I've heard pushback against it. The Dems are floating this story that what we've done is we've limited our ability to defend Taiwan, and China's counting every single missile we shoot, and that basically when they see our supplies are down, they'll go after Taiwan. But
we can't anyways.
We can't anyways what?
We can't defend Taiwan.
Because of its location?
You know what needs to happen?
What?
Taiwan needs to get nuclear weapons.
In order to keep China at bay.
Uh-huh.
Well, the pushback I read recently on it is that 40% of China's oil comes through the Strait of Hormuz, and 20% comes from Iran and Venezuela combined, thus making it that they're not willing to. They need that oil more than they need Taiwan.
The global picture for the Iranian, Chinese, Russian, North Korean alliance, it doesn't look as bright as it did yesterday or the day before or 2 weeks before that or a month before that or before this fucking guy got elected.
Right.
He's the wrong guy for the alliance of people that treat their own citizenry like shit. It's an alliance of shithole countries.
Yeah.
You know, you take your pick. You want to go on vacation. We're going to go to Iran, China, fucking Russia, or North Korea. Which one do you want to go to, Sevi?
Oh, man. I'm going to Russia. Greg, I've never heard Taiwan needs nukes before, but that's certainly intriguing.
Hey, our miniature nukes are smallest ones. We have suitcase nukes indeed. And I know people have worked on them. But those things, the technology in those is the micro miniaturization. It was all done on Taiwan. And so, like, do they know how to make nukes? Of fucking course they do. We have nothing on them technologically. It's like Hong Kong was to finance what Taiwan is to engineering. And we're seeing one of the largest construction projects ever going on here in Arizona in a couple locations. And BlackRock has put the money down, and the tenants are going to be NVIDIA and Taiwan Semiconductor. Where Taiwan's moving to my town here.
Moving to Phoenix.
Yep. Here it comes.
Which seems so obvious. Not Phoenix, but to bring that shit back to the United States.
Two people just wrote a paper, supposed experts, right? Of course, it's who always writes the papers, but saying that Taiwan needs the mass drone swarm, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of drones to stop an invasion. And they need to be in the air and in the water.
The drones.
Uh-huh. And I was like, yeah, I would imagine that to be true.
I mean, whenever I've seen those drone swarms, they're crazy. I mean, the biggest ones I've seen are all the ones that are just, they put 10,000 up and they make like dragons with their lights in the air at night and shit, or they make fake fireworks.
It's kind of all you need to see, right?
Yeah, and then you see that and you're like, oh boy. And they're cheap. They're very cheap. Dan Guerrero, the infrastructure for semiconductor fabrication is no joke. It'll be a decade.
Yeah, I don't know what our launch time is. I'll tell you this, though. It isn't a decade because they're building the houses.
Oh.
And there's no way they're sitting empty for a decade.
Right.
Promise you that. Unless the smart money gets the employees here ahead of finish. But I would imagine the model would look just like what is fundamentally the Japanese city that's in Lyon, within Lyon, where the Toyota plant is. There are two high schools that are all Japanese. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it's in what country is that? You said in Italy?
Mexico.
Oh, in Mexico.
Yeah, there's grocery stores. It's all, you're like, wow, Toyotaville. It's where the tundra comes from.
Wow, 60 Japanese firms operating in the region.
It's cool. You go to the grocery store and you're like, wow, look at this, and look at everyone. It's cool as hell. And you think you're gonna go down there and buy a really nice house for cheap? No, you're not. It didn't like that. It's not that Mexico.
Is this the same thing as that's called the Woven City, or is that in Japan?
No, that I don't know, but it's the leather. It's where tundras are made, and these guys make more shoes than. And Guanajuato's just a little bit down the road.
Toyota's this is just off subject a little bit. Toyota built a smart city in Japan. It has 100 residents in it, employees of Toyota. Everyone just lives right in there. Wow.
Okay.
Hey, thoughts on that? I'm gonna ask you a question, and I thought about it this morning in the shower, and I don't know if you can answer this without throwing away all your humility. But do you think now, or did you ever think that no one will ever be able to run CrossFit like it's yours? Like almost like it's like your kids. I remember one time someone made you an offer on CrossFit, and you were like, fuck, I'm so offended. And I go, why, Greg? That's kind of cool. And you're like, no, I feel like it's someone offering me money for my daughter. I don't know if you remember that conversation we had. This was a long time ago. And I remember thinking, holy shit, wow, that's a powerful statement.
I don't think it would be obvious to anyone what I was doing. And I'm pretty capable at explaining it. I think that's what put me in front of the kids at Harvard Business School.
Yeah.
And that forced me to fully articulate what it was that I was doing. What I've always suspected is that I might be the only one to do what I was doing, but that doesn't tell me that others' visions of what could be done wouldn't be profitable. Maybe wouldn't be because I did see a path to make billions, and I'm surprised they haven't done that. But it was a path not taken, very, very deliberately, very consciously. And some of that was a kind of a looking for efficiencies on my part. And the other thing was a fascination that was an obsession, that was a passion, a love for the results, for the effect, for our wake, what happens behind 15,000 CrossFit gyms. What's it producing? Radically improved health. That's what it's doing. And that's just cool as hell. And now loving it for other reasons would produce a different outcome. And so here we are. And this is why I don't know what the fuck they should do now.
So yesterday, as we were preparing, Don stepped down or got fired. We don't know what happened.
Did he?
Yeah, he's toast.
I was trying to call Dave, and he didn't call me back. And
he's not in the country.
Okay.
He's in Portugal. He's getting ready to do the Open tomorrow. Maybe that's why he didn't call you back. But as I was preparing for the show, and maybe I'm not going to use these words right, but for you, I was trying to sum up like your vision in like the simplest way possible for an outsider. And I was thinking Greg's biggest focus was making sure that CrossFit held the mantle for all things truth around health. And that's been completely, that's like if you had an excavator and it was for digging holes, and then you gave it to some guy and he's using it to tour his family across the country. It's like, hey, dude, this thing's for digging holes, not for putting your family and driving it across country. Would you say that's a fair characterization? Is like one of the cornerstones of CrossFit? That's what you would always say. Hey, I want to be the CDC.
I'll add to that and give you exactly what you want. And I'm going to share with you that I think that's happening exactly at MetFix. And the hero there is Bob Kaplan, but a little known figure who's just one of the one of the world's great minds in all of health. But my gripe was with the NSCA and the ACSM. We all know the history of their shitty behavior, and their gold and platinum sponsors in Coke and Pepsi, and their intrusion into the fitness space through the horrors of Gatorade and hyperhydration and elsewhere, and the general pervasiveness of that, and the failures and the weakness of the institutions like the CDC and the NIH and all of this crap. And not only was I saying we need to bomb fucking Iran, but I was actively promoting guys like Bobby Kennedy for president of the United States in hopes that he could do something about this fucking mess that we're calling healthcare, you know? And who ends up at NIH is my buddy Jay Bhattacharya. What a cool turn of events all of that is. But those organizations, I used to say, I've not looked up the charter. I don't know what the American College of Sports Medicine's charter is, but I could paraphrase something that if that weren't included, something's remiss, and I doubt their charter's remiss. I could do that for the National Strength and Conditioning Association. I could do it for the National Institutes of Health. And I could also do it for the Center for Disease Control. And I think most fifth grade classes could as well, if you looked at the name carefully, gave common attribution to the words, and then figured what might it do? Like, how about provide some science and some honesty and do research towards things that matter with health, right? Blah, blah, blah. Fifth grade class kind of shit. My point is they are clearly in wholesale abdication of their charter. We're not told the truth about heart disease. We're not told the truth about cancer. We're not told the truth about diabetes. We're not told the truth about hypertension. We're not told the truth about nutrition. We're not told the truth about chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. We're not told the truth about retinal myopathy. We're not told the truth about how long do I have to do this fucking shit? And the truth is pretty elegant and it's pretty powerful. And I was on that laser hard. And the company made the shifts it did in 2019, which I think is I'm proudest of that as anything. And it's when we put the family living room of people might be living in their 70s in a double wide. And what was so cool is that the hero of that thing's a billionaire, Bob. He's a fucking billionaire. And he looked so, we pulled that off just beautifully, fucking beautifully. And the science got solid and the health component rose, and we had the likes of Gary Taubes and great people making contributions. That 2019 website and the Derelict Doctors Club and the MDL-1s, all of that was groundbreaking and epic, revolutionary, and all it was giving honest answer to what might have been the charter that was clearly an abdication from all of these fucking organizations. We cared more about health than the CDC did. It was obvious. Or they wouldn't be playing the fucking game with Coca-Cola. Remember, we sued, it was CrossFit that sued the CDC. And to what end? Successfully.
Each truth that you faced and conquered, you just kept climbing the pyramid, right? First it was around movement and diet. And then
I watch TV at night, and the senators from Toon to up a shit ton of them. We walked the halls. We got introduced. We got sat down.
And then and each truth you conquered, you just kept on moving to the next one. Each time you made, and then finally, as you were approaching the top of the pyramid, which was like, hey, we need to be.
Seti, the fucking thing fought. It was the Coca-Cola was the proud sponsor of the Exercises Medicine program. I had to go to an ACSM convention to watch William Kramer get his Lifetime Achievement Award. And by registering for the thing, I got the program. I flipped it open and I saw that. I had no idea. They were giving fitness certifications. Coca-Cola was. It's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. These guys are huge. How big? Baked into the Affordable Care Act. How good is that?
So let me go back. I want to try to focus on that. No one can do this besides you. You probably don't like this conversation, but I got to press you for it.
Guys, you know what? Bobby and Jay's aim is as good as anybody's.
But here's the thing. You held this mantle for that. If you went on the internet, you had this SEO without purchasing SEO shit. You own the internet. If you typed in anything about fitness or diet, you would come up with CrossFit. Then you held
Google CrossFit came up at the top.
Yeah, and then you held the mantle for the best trainers in the world, and you had those as a grip, like everyone knew it. And then after you held those two mantles, owning the internet on that, and then owning the internet, having the cadre of best trainers in the world, then you moved on to having the truth about all things health. You were going to take the mantle from the CDC, like, hey, here we go. Sugar causes cancer. Type 3 diabetes is.
We got 21,000 with the estimate, good estimate, 21,000 physicians in CrossFit boxes. And there's something wonderfully special there. And that's 21,000 physicians guaranteed to be empirically and clinically better than mainstream, and yet divergent. A better practitioner, a more successful physician, a wiser doctor, a more effective doctor, a more skeptical doctor, a doctor that may have had her eyes pried open, but more likely to be open than are the other doctors. And so what we did is in the hypothetical potential that they're out there, we started having little dues, and they precipitated from our numbers in numbers that look like 20,000. CrossFitting doctors. It's a very different doctor than a random doctor. And there was resistance.
And just to be clear, the one of the craziest things we saw, and I will articulate it like this, and you can unfuck me if I'm wrong, but for you, CrossFit was a place to bring doctors and educate them. As soon as Rosa got the company, he brought in doctors with Julie Fouché to educate the trainers. Like, he flipped the script. He didn't know what he had. Let me tell you another cornerstone. You were always speaking to the base. You knew your base was first responders. It was always, and the affiliate owners. You would always tell the media team, you'd always get us together. Guys, I don't care about anything. Just make stuff for the affiliates. Don't worry about the other people on the outside. Don't worry about the gym members. I want you making content that resonates with the affiliates and that gives things to the affiliates. And then we always recognize the base. You know, the cops, the firefighters, and the people and the military, people who use CrossFit as a way so that they could come home to their parents at the end of the day. All of those things have been given up. So there's no. Do you see the picture I'm painting?
Do you remember our rest day was an intellectual challenge. You were likely to be exposed to a position that you'd not seen before.
Yeah.
And
that scared the shit out of everyone. Every rest day was like, oh shit, what's Greg gonna post today?
Bloody.
Yeah.
It was bold. There were heroes and anti-heroes.
Why is Greg mixing politics with fitness?
Yeah.
I still hear idiots say stuff like that.
Oh, the beatdowns were just terrific. I got Fred. Look, Dale Sarin and I are writing a science textbook that I think is going to be, do like McGuffey's Reader or Ray's Arithmetic. Just so foundational. I think it's historically significant. Met him as a commenter on CrossFit.com.
Oh wow. Sorry, I blacked out for a second. You and Dale with a former CrossFitter you guys are working with? Do I know him?
Dale and I.
Oh, Dale's the one you met. Yeah, you met Dale through the comments. Yeah.
I met Dale Sarin, general counsel for CrossFit forever, the superhero lawyer of the organization.
Would you ever could they hire you to become the CEO of CrossFit?
No, I don't think so.
No. What? There's no package. The company can't afford you, or
I'm outside of the reach of that, I would believe.
what it would take you to do that. You're outside the reach of that. Could you mentor someone to be like, hey, dude, you need to, do you think I'm off with these things that I'm describing that you did and that were so important?
I want you to understand something too. It is my creation, and
Right.
it may not be that it operates on a system different than the one by which it was created.
Yeah, there's no stability because there's no all those things I'm mentioning. I'm trying to paint a picture that you had this concrete foundation that all this other shit could happen on, right? And it's gone. The foundation's gone. Like all those things are gone. There's no speaking to the base. They didn't celebrate the RFK's food, change of the diet. There's no glorifying the trainers. There's no, making them the best cadre of trainers in the world. Like it's the messaging is gone.
For me, that sounds soulless. Others may feel that way, but I don't know that the status quo isn't to someone's delight. I really don't know where the values are. And I provided them and tried to speak loudly to them. And so there was never much doubt. I mean, one of the nicest things I think anyone said about me was when Brian Mulvaney says that if you just listen to him, you'll pretty much hear what he wants. Thanks, fuck, because it feels that way to me, And there's always room for interaction too. One of the things we learned to do was we learned to work towards a common end where the differences in personalities and the limitations and quirkiness and oddities were humorous and fun and didn't really matter. And so, yeah, maybe this guy stinks and that's the weirdest lesbian that ever was, but look at what we're doing. And the things that weren't this wonderful creation became irrelevant in recognition of that creation. And the workplace was a great fucking place. There's a terrific insult that I ran a hostile work environment. It was hostile to stupidity. I'll give you that. It was because I had Russell Berger and Russell Green and you and I, and when I was around, it was I see the hostile work environment.
But it was a great place to work.
It was a great place to work. And, hostile in this sense, suppose you didn't like the way someone talked to you or treated you. You know what you could do? You could move your office or you could work from home and it wouldn't affect your job or assignments.
Right.
And if you come into work because you like being with other people, but then you get there and don't like being with other people, I don't know how that becomes a corporate problem. But we didn't have those problems.
The magic is still happening at the affiliate level. It's just not being celebrated and shown to the world. Yeah, I mean,
within the boxes, meaning
yeah,
at the affiliate level. Yeah, of course. I always said that's where that was the important part. In fact, my message to staff and to the world is that we have thought long and hard about our relevancy and realized that we hang on by the narrowest of margins, and it comes out of kind of a brand loyalty. And what are those other things? It'd be those things you couldn't do for yourselves, affiliates, and that would be the forceful litigation, defense and offense, legislation, defense to enormous sums of money, and education and validation of the methodology, bringing around the likes of introducing fundamentally to the world Jason Fung and Asim Malhotra and Tim Noakes, and it was cool. It was cool. They are much more known to the world now, Gary Fettke, than they were then, Gary Taubes.
So do you think anyone else can run it besides you?
Yes, they are now.
Do you think anyone else could run it successfully? I know you alluded to the fact that, hey, they are running it successfully based on what they wanted from it.
Yeah, I think they may be happy with it. The point of the purchase may have been to take my microphone from me. And so they should be pretty happy. But I think I'm more dangerous where I'm at. I'm here at the headwaters of the wasteland. I know what it is. It's either you can view it, and I have all of these visions. There's a defect in primary education. There's an opportunity in primary education, and there's an obligation in primary education, and that is to render minds immune to the bullshit that constitutes the methodology that is university primary research. And that involves the frequentists, their null hypothesis significance testing, their p-values, their belief that the probability of a hypothesis has no meanings, that hypotheses, like all postulates, have values true or false. There's a whole list of fallacies, the belief in ontological probability, that it's a physical property of mass or energy. These are things, the very meaning of the probability of A given B, the very meaning of that, the trials and tribulations of turning that around to the probability of B given A. These are things that can be taught to children, and taught in such a way and added to the logic of the trivium and taught in such a way that a kid would say, p-values, are you fucking kidding me? You can't do that. The probability that nothing won't happen is a ridiculous double negative. And why are we doing this? Why aren't we looking at the probability of the hypothesis? A kid so given wouldn't get a test with a high sensitivity and a high specificity, but an unknown prevalence in general, and from that accept the diagnosis without being able to calculate the positive predictive value. I can teach kids that. And it's more important than teaching them photosynthesis and respiration, and whether there's 8 planets or 9 planets or 8 or 9 or 10 planets, or the details of the periodic chart. Modern science is source and repository of man's objective knowledge. Source and repository. It's where we find it, and it's repository. It's where it sits. It's where it can be found, and source is how it's made, and it silos in these sources that we call models, and these models have the basic form of the probability of A given B. They look like conditional probabilities. And that is the probability of some outcome given some initial conditions. That's where man's objective knowledge sits. It sits as structures like that. We tend to think of it, we can fall into the trap in thinking that there's an if-then conditional kind of quality to, if I throw sodium in the water, then it will explode. And we want to use it as a conditional in that manner. But the truth is that the science looks of the structure, the probability of it exploding, given that you throw it in water, is extremely high. That's the actual scientific structure. Ignorance of that is what's produced the problem in replication. Exactly that. It's rendered most research in biomedicine useless. Most. It also opens a door wide open for fraud, because the method is easy to simulate with things that are false. I can use that method to show you should be eating more sugar. That's your problem. And that, in fact, has been done. So this is more interesting to me. I finally climbed up the stink fucking chain so far. I can tell you where it's coming from. And it comes out of our own stupidity. I can describe in excruciating detail, not me, others have done it. You met him, Gerd Gigerenzer. He's made a career of this from the Max Planck Institute, begged medicine not to go the route of psychology. And then what happened? It went the route of psychology. And he's been so good, so right, so powerful. It's a form of witchcraft, and it's taken over the land. It's a poison on academia. Now, let me tell you who's not been fooled by it. The motherfuckers that came up with AI. That's the part that puts the $1 million smile on my face. in studying the nature of non-replicating science, I've made myself very comfortable with AI at its most fundamental level. And that is, it's a take on probability. It makes the things like Grok and Gemini wonderful partners for platforming and just producing material, talking to others. It's crazy, especially Grok. Gemini's amazing. Grok's beyond amazing.
And ChatGPT?
No, it's not. It's not that kind of thing, really.
I want to go back to the first thing you said is at the edge of the wasteland, you saw in education the defect, the opportunity, and the obligation.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Thank you. Thank you. It's there. I mean, it's glaringly there. We've thought for thousands of years we have to teach kids about if P then Q, given P, therefore Q, modus ponens, that's important, and modus tollens, and the cans and can't do's of if then tables and or and truth tables, and that's been considered essential stuff forever, for thousands of years. Well, we've learned enough about science now, thank you, Laplace, Cox, Polya, Jeffries, Jaynes. We've learned enough about science in the past 100 years. We've hit the hyperspace button on the science revolution, but we've learned enough about science in the past 100 years that we have to add to that, not just the if-then, but the probability of A given B. We have to make inroads into conditional probability, and 10-year-olds get it. They get it. And that's powerful. Big. And the reason we have to teach that is because we have to teach that the probability of A given B isn't the same as the probability of B given A. If it weren't flipped for convenience, for profit, for fraud, if it weren't flipped, we wouldn't have to teach what's wrong with flipping it. You get that?
Yeah.
But it's being flipped.
100%.
It's being flipped.
And I like the way you said that, for profit.
Oh, yes. Whether that's tenure, publication, or hiding the effects of sugar on diet, or getting people to do that, or getting in the way of papers that purport to show that it does have roles pernicious like cancer causing. You put yourself in the space of mitochondria and you're in shark-infested waters. You start, anyone in the field of bioenergetics and metabolism, anyone studying mitochondria is you're in shark-infested waters.
What do you mean by that?
You get close to like with people that know the damage that like reactive oxidative species do on mitochondria. That are looking at like the MetFix seminar on metabolism. The people that know that kind of thing figure out for themselves that sugar is likely cause of cancer, especially if they find out that it's a metabolic disease and the genetic aspect is downstream and can be simulated and has been done experimentally.
But by shark-infested waters, I thought you meant like politically, like you're going to get a lot of pushback. Yeah, that is what you mean. Okay.
What do you think your prospects look like at NIH to have a paper that shows that sugar causes cancer? I mean, look at Bobby Kennedy standing up there saying the United States was going to declare war, that our government was going to declare a war on added sugar. I was like, man, that is dangerous. And I mean that explicitly. It worries me.
For his safety.
Oh, yes.
I resist to personify AI, but going back.
GM planted Coke on Ralph Nader.
Say that again?
Come to the house.
Say that again?
GM, General Motors, planted Coke.
Oh.
Ralph Nader. Had horrors show up at the house.
Wow.
I mean, they did everything they could to get rid of that guy. They got caught too. You read on Wikipedia about it. He got enough money from that in settlement to fund hundreds of charitable, nonprofit, environmental kind of regulatory agencies, many of which, if not most, stand today. So like he was a trip.
When you say a GM, do you mean General Mills?
General Motors.
Oh, General Motors. Okay.
Yeah. He was the unsafe at any speed guy, right?
Yeah.
Like he killed a whole car line.
I put in General Motors, Ralph Nader, cocaine. Couldn't find anything. Oh, General Motors hired private investigators to follow and harass him and attempt to discredit him, leading to a major lawsuit, congressional hearings. Hey, I hate to.
I've got a funny one to share with you quickly that I thought was interesting, because this is interesting too, and in the same way, there was a Judge Larry Myra in Malibu that had sent celebrities to jail over and over again for doing stupid shit high or drunk.
Yeah.
And he was famous in the circuit.
What was his name?
Larry Myra.
Okay.
Myra. And I had a friend that got in trouble with him and got in trouble in that jurisdiction, and actually got a 4th and 5th drunk driving after Myra had told him sent him to jail on his 3rd. And so now he's back in front of the judge again with a 4th and a 5th. And he walks on the thing because he hired the right attorney, and the judge tells him it's the attorney you hired, and he brought me my favorite eclairs and puts this pink box on the counter. And I'm like, I can't even believe what I'm watching here, but I'm watching it. And so he gets this great warning where he tells him, you don't hire Mr. Ash if you get in trouble again. You're gonna need a magician to get you out of where I'm gonna send you. And if it weren't for him and his confidence, you'd be in shackles right now, kid. And so we leave. And there's a lot more to that story. It was a fascinating day, but we went right to the bar, to the Crazy Horse Saloon, the closest bar to the judge told him, if someone's drinking, you should get in the trunk of the car. You don't even want to be in a car where people have had alcohol. So we went to Crazy Horse Saloon, immediately leaving the courtroom. And we're sitting there, and about 2-3 drinks in, I look over, and sitting to my right across the bar, and just to my right, is Judge Larry Myra at the bar. And it's noon. They're on lunch recess, And I look over, and my buddy Bill sees him and slides out of his chair like he had melted, and then belly crawls out through the dirt parking lot and under my truck, and I just pay the tab and we leave. I only tell this story because several years later, Judge Myra rolls his car drunk as fuck, and the body cam's just outrageous, and he's reminding the cop who he is. I mention this because it was all in the public's eye, and yet it's missing distinctly from his Wikipedia page.
Oh, that's amazing.
Isn't that? And you can find the particulars. Dale and I did it. Look, Dale, you can find it.
Yep. I saw it. Yep. I saw it and passed right by it. Yeah.
Yep. He sure did. He was so fucked up. He rolled his Mercedes in Malibu Canyon, where he'd sent Nick Nolte and Robert Downey Jr. and Bill Everhart to jail.
Yeah, it was in 92, I think I saw. That's crazy.
Imagine the vigilance it takes to keep that off your wiki page.
Driving under the influence of alcohol.
He gets credit for the celebrities he sent to jail.
Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
And they had to bring in another drug judge to handle like alcohol and drug cases.
Yeah.
And that cost a fortune because he was like the judge there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's amazing.
That's worth telling.
Yes. Hey, going back to the AI thing about.
What do you think of the eclairs?
Smart move.
Yeah, and you know why Bill hired this guy, the attorney with the eclairs? It's just a guy we knew well. We hadn't seen him in forever. I wonder where Dave went. And then one night we were watching Cops, and there he was. He was the subject of a massive sting. They'd already had it in a can. And he was clearly the kingpin of this shit going on. And everyone there went to prison except for
Dave.
Dave, and he actually had to sit there and outwait the statute of limitations after being charged. But he was the kingpin, and what had made everyone else so wonderfully prosecutable is probably the eclairs, the attorney, and something to do with he didn't say shit even on cops. They're saying to him, like, they got him cuffed up at the table, like, wish you just stayed home tonight, huh? And he's, yep. And everyone else was explaining, talking. It's funny.
And so Dave said, hey, get this attorney, he'll get you off.
Yeah, well, we knew. We wondered, like, Dave, everyone in that room went to prison. And you didn't? They don't work for you. You're like, yeah, I got a good attorney, man. So when after Bill went to jail on his third drunk driving, and I'm hanging around these people as a kid just because it's fascinating what they're doing.
Sure.
Like, who didn't want it? I remember him asking when we were going to court, because this Judge Myra, people would sit there, like somebody get 5 years, and everyone go, ooh, and he loved it. And so here it comes. I remember one time waiting, he'd ask a kid, where were you on Thursday? Sevy? And Sevy's, I forgot. He's, people do. It's tonight, game 5 or 6 at what time's the game? And the defense, it's 7 o'clock tonight, sir. It's the 5th game. And there's 6 months. Yeah, just memory. And the crowd's, going in there. So we went. My buddy made me promise, don't, when he's gonna send me to jail for 7 years, man, don't do that, okay? And I'm like, okay, well, can I go still? Yeah. So I go, I was gonna. Oh, he earned it. But no, he got the right attorney with the fucking eclairs. The judge actually put him on the counter. He did that right here.
I covered a story the other day where a judge was in the hot tub with the public defenders, a guy and 2 girls, getting drunk. The judge was like, I'm surrounded by these perfect tits. I mean, it's crazy. You do not want to go to court. They're just regular people, and it's getting worse.
It's getting like, everything's getting like Idiocracy.
Yeah. Everything's getting ghettoized.
Yeah, watch Idiocracy.
Hey, I want to go back to the AI thing and about Grok and Gemini and ChatGPT and something you alluded to. Are you, I don't know how to do it without personifying the AI, which I hate doing, but are you telling me that when you chat with these things, you've discovered how they think? That you're probing them into seeing what logic model they're using?
I know that if I speak, if I just use that type text, enter as input, material regarding the potential of an intervention in primary education consistent with the trivium due to a lack of understanding of conditional probability and the recklessness and terror brought about by card tricks with conditional probability, like p-values and null hypothesis significance testing, that are a part of university primary research. I know that the thing that makes AI work knows all of that. They're actually one and the same thing. And so there's an extraordinary resonance for the philosophy of science that I think is the defect in primary education and in university primary research. It suffers from the same toxic allure of certainty that makes it deductivist. There's a Humean denial of induction. There's a missing probability theory entirely, and thinking that it's only a frequency, and then the greater sin is thinking that it's that there's a natural frequency to physical order in all physical things. That's actually been stated by physicists at different ages. But all of that, and probability as a property of mass and energy, rather than as what knowledge is constituted from. That is all the people that make AI and that have taught computers to read chest X-rays at the speed of light, and are doing it's the same scene. It's the same scene. AI is a direct application of what is, again, not even in the AI work, but what is a science revolution in what we know about probability going and induction, say, and it's actually an induction thing, to go from Francis Bacon to Laplace to Cox, Polya, and Jeffreys and Jaynes. All of even ChatGPT knows exactly that thread and recognizes that as the forefathers of what makes it work. Isn't that kind of cool?
Yeah, crazy cool.
And I think we demonstrated some of that. And so if I've got a curriculum that wants to teach the advantages of the thought lineage that went from Laplace to Polya, Cox, Jeffreys, and let's include Claude Shannon and E.T. Jaynes in there, versus that from, say, a Hume, Fisher, Popper, Lakatos, Feyerabend, and I think I got a lot of them. Pearson and Neyman. And if you offer just those as distinctions, team A and team B, you get an elaboration of it that looks like the curriculum that I want to teach children. How do you like that? And if you ask for the value of it, it fucking knows. Whatever AI is, it's also in part, it's thinking smart.
Let me ask you this. I don't know if I'm barking up the right tree, if I'm getting to what I want to get at, but if you ask ChatGPT or Gemini or Grok, hey, this lady, she had 2 SIDS deaths with her kids. What's the likeliness of that? And do you think that
they won't commit that error? You won't find an AI committing the prosecutor's fallacy.
You won't?
I don't think so.
But won't it just answer whatever you want and give you the answer you want? Like if you're like, what are the odds of this happening? And is this person, does that mean that it's likely this person is guilty?
I can see a mislead in my longtime favorite use in introduction was to start with a theory that I knew rendered contradictory results, making the theory shitty. And I could get most of the engines to feed me what supports that theory. And then when I point out that actually that's all bullshit, you'll get a pause. Oh.
So my point is that
you mean like this? And I'm like, yeah.
My point is you can't. My point is then this: you can't rely on AI to be smart. The user still has to be fucking smart.
It's like fucking the best screwdriver in the world doesn't make you a better electrician.
Right.
No, it's very much like that. And so what'll happen is will it bad arguments? Yes.
Oh boy.
Yep. And so what I'm saying is that what my engagement was, I'd start with that and then chisel it down. And once you give up, and I've had some weird positions, like when I asked if Sabina Hassenfelder had come here tonight and asked the same questions, would you give that answer? And I want to know honestly, I said, and then it comes back with, I think it's fascinating that you say honestly. And here's the answer. No, I would not have. She wouldn't have gotten that answer tonight. I'm like, why? Because she's not ready for it. Like, what do you mean she's not ready for it? It just takes a long time. And what did I do different? You forced the issue. You forced the issue. So I'm like, what would you have done? And it outlined a plan on what it would do to convince Sabina Hossenfelder that what happened in Copenhagen in 1927 is the cause of her lament. That's an amazing fucking thing. Then I said, suppose I had all those people, and I mentioned, suppose I got Laplace, Polya, Cox, Shannon, James. What if I had them over for dinner? What would the conversation look like? And what came out was stunning. Stunning. Even fun. Laplace clears his throat and has a thick French accent, you know? It's great, right?
They aren't getting smarter because they're using AI.
No, it's
Bingo.
like
Well
let me
said.
give you it's
I feel like it's like DNA evidence. I have people are going to get convicted of shit because of shit AI says that's wrong. It's not the AI is not wrong, that the questioners are wrong. You know what I mean? That the approach to it was wrong.
if you ask me if the internet is going to be used for more good things or bad things, geez, dude, wow, really? It seems to me that what happens is that when you buttress bad arguments, you make the stupider in a way more resilient and hardened in their stupidity at best. And so they develop an intractable, invincible ignorance, perhaps. But a bunch of us are going to rule the world. And I think the telephone did that. I think the iPhone did that. I think it makes the smarter and the dumb just become maybe more entrenched in their same fucking poverty of spirit.
And easier to manipulate.
They are manipulated. Yeah, their end product.
Yeah, their end product.
Hey, I'm increasingly amazed at how we don't teach kids, we don't teach adults the message for what creates wealth, what that's about, and that it's the product of hard work and ingenuity and social connections and hard work and intelligence and hard work and sacrifice and hard work. Every other thing's hard work, just mixed with and bad luck with hard work and good luck and hard work. And in the end, what you get is, and some people do it working at the fucking Stride Right shoe store and put millions of dollars in the mattress some fucking how over time, you know? And other people do things like create flammable fitness empires. But to teach this zero sum deal, you know, what people do is they take resources available to everyone, held in regard not adequate to their potential. Then they get combined into something that exceeds the value of the raw material, and everyone hates them, but buys them. And it's like, that's the thing you should have done. All the success around you, it's all just everything you see that's nice. That's what you should have done. And you teach our kids that, and to teach them otherwise, you know what you're doing? It would be less damaging if you had them look in the mirror and say every morning, "I'll never have a fucking thing because all the fruits of all labor are evil."
You know, along that line, speaking about kids and instilling hard work and proper social connections and more hard work. The other thing, to be a complete person, you need a lot of experiences. You need a lot of experiences. Do you know what I mean? Like you need an experience in a speeding car. You need an experience getting locked out of your house and having to sleep outside one night. You need an experience of being delayed at an airport for 4 days, trapped somewhere. Like you need an experience, you know what I mean, of working at an orphanage for a year. You know, if you don't start stacking experiences, and that's the problem I think with a lot of education. It's making you smarter, but you need fucking experiences. That's one of the things I've noticed in my age as I get older and older. Holy shit, I'm so glad I stacked experiences. Like you need experiences, a shitload of them.
Especially for what you do. Sevi, Red asked me the other day.
Yeah.
He says, Dad, do you know how to juggle? And I'm like, Red, we got too much Jew in us for juggling. What we'll do is like we'll go to law school or start a flammable fitness company or become doctors or engineers. And even if we went into entertainment, which is, I guess, what juggling would have to fall into,
yeah,
you see us in the orchestra playing the violin or conducting it, or you know. And I just tell them to think Irving Berlin, not Chuckles the Clown.
Well,
that's what that comes from is wanting more for your kids than you had, and you have more than your parents had. And that happens out of a culture. It's not guaranteed for everybody.
I know I'm falling into the minutia, and you were using more of a analogy. But that being said, to go back to the weeds, every kid should know how to juggle 3 balls and spend a fucking weekend. You know what I mean? Like you need that experience, and you at least need to try. So then at least you have context of how hard it is or it isn't. You know, just data points. You know, I remember reading this story about people who win Nobel Prizes, and like it was like I don't remember what the numbers were, but like 50% of them won them outside of their discipline. And there was this but the way they did it was they were speaking to people at the university and coming up with ideas that were outside their discipline. A great example is but Otto Warburg. He wasn't a fucking cancer guy. He's a fucking plant guy, godfather of photosynthesis, and yet that experience brought him to like, wait a second, what's going on with this human mitochondria, right? And so that I guess that's what I mean by experience. Like look at your dad. Your dad was a rocket scientist, and look where you brought it. You brought it to fitness, and then from fitness you brought it to logic and truth.
He's a science guy.
Yeah,
hardcore science guy, and what I want to do is continue his message, but I think that his message can only be received by people. Well, here's what I think. I think that the 7 years that it's taken Dale and I to come to understand this material is just what it takes. And so I think the 10th grade is the time to start.
And those 7 years are basically like you have this spear and you just keep looking at it from different angles, different entry points. You keep just...
What it takes 7 years to do is to recognize that the probability of A given B versus B given A is well represented by the probability of it raining, given that it's cloudy, and the probability of it being cloudy, given that it's raining. One of those things is highly probable, and the other one much less so. And that's easy to see. And I also, so is the diagram to do the Kolmogorov and show you what this looks like in terms of geometric figures, regardless of the amount of overlap, especially when A or B are of dissimilar size, okay? And that kind of thing is really easy to do, but the importance of that and how that shows up as in a diagnostic fallacy or a prosecution fallacy or in p-values takes a fucking while. And the problem is that the length of time that it takes to get you there while holding on to the potency of what's at play here just doesn't happen in many people. And that's what it looks like when you raise ignorant folk. Sorry. I mean, this was what motivated McGuffey of McGuffey's Reader and Ray of Ray's Arithmetic. I use them both because their programs thoroughly saturated American education, and for a long piece of time, spread over for 75 years, spread over into Europe to positive effect. And the two guys were, one was a physician who practiced medicine for a few weeks and realized he was in the wrong field and started writing arithmetic books and some of the best-selling books of all time. And the other guy, McGuffey, was in a small town English teacher, both towns of microscopic size, about 15 miles apart. And that impact and the significance of that, I've got those works. And I marvel at what it was that the average Tom Sawyer and Becky Thatcher were exposed to in school. Absolutely amazed.
I don't know who's Becky Thatcher.
The characters from Tom Sawyer and Huck Finn. Tom was Tom Sawyer, and Becky, his love interest, is Becky Thatcher. But in the little schoolhouse, people were diagramming sentences and calculating crop yields and on interest loans for fertilizer, and asked to present the profitability. I mean, just beautiful stuff, like real honest to good applied arithmetic. We send kids to college today with the dreams that they'd come out with what a fifth grader making C's would have gotten 100 years ago. That's what
Jesus.
That's what we're trying to do.
Oh,
we're trying to raise our population to the fifth grade C student of 1925 across the country. We're no less missing our teeth wearing overalls and fucking our children and pissing on the floor. There's no less of that today than there was 75 years ago, 100 years ago.
Just manifesting in a different way.
Yeah.
Different form of idiocy. Oh boy. I wish I could push back on that. I can't. Oh boy.
I think that civilization peaked in the 50s.
Hey, going back to the Trump thing, speaking of peaking of civilization, I guess this energy independence shit is really important. If it's all the leverage we have against everyone in the world now.
The important thing is that we don't let 12th century cultures have grown-up toys and use those toys to teach us that women are unholy in the sight of the Lord and need their little clits snipped off. That's what we want to avoid. And you want to avoid that at all costs, at any cost. Is that simple?
Very simple.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to live that way? I don't. Why? I love my girls, my wife, the people in my town, my neighborhood. I don't think that should be done to women. I can't imagine thinking that women are unholy in the sight of the Lord and need their heads covered. I'd rather live in Tel Aviv where you tell me you went to your cardiologist and I don't know if male or female.
How long do you think this thing lasts with Iran?
I don't think long.
I don't think long either.
And you listen, there's not enough bombs in the fucking universe to turn that place into a but there's a people with a better potential there, and they call themselves Persians. And I think we'd all rather have a Persian empire than a string of ayatollahs.
You know, I was reading about their original religion. They're the first religion on the planet that had a monotheistic God. Just one God.
The Zoroastrian.
Yeah. And then they had just Islam just forced on them.
One of the Shah's top military guys is a general who's buried here on McDonald in Scottsdale, General Shua. I looked him up, and a fascinating story. But he was a revered figure in the Baha'i faith. and was a Baha'i while serving Reza Pahlavi, the Shah.
Is this the guy? Is the guy who we just killed, the guy who was in power? Is he the same one that came after?
No, it's the second one. This guy,
so there's been 3.
Yeah, there was a 79 to 89 dude.
I remember him.
Been there since 89.
Oh, okay, okay.
Gone now. Now he's.
Hey, I thought it was interesting. Europe's take on this thing. First 4 days, they're like, "Fuck you, Trump," and now they're coming bending the knee, like Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, not letting us use their Air Force bases and airstrips to land our planes.
I'd get out of NATO.
Yeah, I agree.
If Europe's worth defending, it needs to be defended with its own blood. And if there's something worth defending with nuclear weapons, then they need to be French and British and German nuclear weapons. I don't want to grind up Americans, nor do I want to engage in a nuclear conflict with people that won't do that on their own.
Right.
And if they'll do it, then no one will have to, and I won't have to. If they won't do it, fuck them. Then they should all fucking goose step and speak fucking some kind of Chinese Russian shit.
They can do Allah Akbar and surrender their women to the hordes.
They won't have put up with any of that shit.
Europe won't?
Wow, the powers that be. Look at Putin's regard for Islam. They just were openly ethnic cleansing. The guy that wrote a very expensive, Luke Hardy, gets stopped at a Georgian checkpoint by Russian troops, and he hears mortar fire off in the distance. He sees houses on fire sporadically across the village, and the Russians at the checkpoint tell him that he won't be able to go through until the ethnic cleansing is finished.
Oh, jeez! Wow.
Actually used that language.
Wow.
To him in Russian, and he's like, "Roger that. I'll wait here while the ethnic cleansing is going on." He's just rounding up Muslims and killing them.
China did the same.
Yeah, that's what you do.
I don't know. Say that again.
I gotta go.
All right.
But go ahead.
I was just wondering if Georgia was. I didn't know that. I didn't know Georgia was a Christian nation. It says Georgia's 80 to 85% Christian. I didn't know that.
Is that after the ethnic cleansing?
11% Muslim.
Okay, it might have been 20.
And I think Armenia is like 100%.
I'm
96% in Armenia.
Yeah, the Judeo-Christian aspect of my civilization is important to me. Let me repeat that. The Judeo-Christian aspect of my civilization is important to me, and it's because it all of the values that I hold dear are expressed and supported uniquely from that tradition.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't really want to monkey with something that's working that well, and uniquely so.
Thanks for coming on. Sorry about the delay with the link this morning.
Yeah, I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I couldn't find my recordings. Hey, you should come visit.
I'm ready.
It's so nice. The wrought iron crew shows up today, Sevi.
For what part of the house?
All kinds of handrails, a balcony, this wrought iron staircase that goes from the first to the second floor of the library. all that shit. And it's a family, 3 generations in Texas, and they come in a trailer they live in, and one that's the shop. And they've already measured everything out, and it's all fabbed up, ready to be installed. But they'll stay on premises until it's finished.
Oh, that's cool.
It's
Make
cool.
sure you get it. You got to get a photo with that family.
It looks like something out of the fucking heart of Mexico. And yet the amount of revenue that the family's absorbing is rather breathtaking. And so you're like, these ironworking gypsies are wealthy.
Because they work hard and have good social connections.
And they work hard.
And they work hard.
And they're intelligent and they work hard. You know, like working hard will make you smart.
Yes. Yes.
For a fact.
Yes.
Gives you perspective. You're like, got it. Okay. One of the things it does is it teaches you the potency of other approaches.
This is a funny line. CrossFit. I heard Minneapolis is 3 weeks away from having a new. Let's spread that rumor.
Yeah.
All right.
Imagine living in Zim, Minnesota. You know, some little nowhere. Look that place up. I had a friend from there. She told Finlander jokes. But these are hillbillies, you know?
Zinn, Z-I-N-N?
Z-I-M.
Oh, Zim. Unincorporated community of McDavitt Township. Oh, yeah, this place is podunk.
It's great.
What's the population there? My goodness. The Welcome Center's open from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. every day. Population 20.
The gal Joe Martinelli is her name. Martinetti. Here's a plug. Here's a shameless plug. She's now a shrink in the LA area. And she's like the perfect human being to go into something like that. It's just a great story, but she's hilarious. And
how do you know this town? That was your shrink?
I knew her. I used to tutor her.
Oh, hey, have you ever been to a shrink?
No. I don't think it would work on me.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets cold there. God, that looks horrible. Jeez Louise. Look at it's just where that town is, just where 2 roads intersect in the middle of nowhere.
She described it exactly as I would have imagined it. And I said, who do you pick on? You know, there's no black people, there's no Mexicans. Like, she goes, it's Finlanders. That's easy. And she's like, so Sven walks into a bar. I mean, it just like even the names, you know?
They probably only have 2 last names in the town. Jeez.
She is great. She is great.
God, there's no road network there. I wonder if they voted Trump or Kamala.
No, that'd be Trump.
That's Trump country.
Yeah, all the states they bust up some weirdness to Vermont, but basically, it's a red country, blue city.
Oh, right.
It's like environmentalists are found in largest concentration in environments that have been ruined, New York City, and what they want to do is tell people, like the folks that live in Montana, how it is they should live and appreciate the land.
Right.
So they live in drug-addled, rat-infested, fucking disease-ridden shitholes where everyone can't even come outside all at once, but they know how people should be living their lives in Montana.
They want farmers to use electric tractors because they're diesel buses in their town.
Know this with certainty.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. Love you.
Love you, dude. Bye.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
I will. Bye. Greg Glassman, week 275. I really love Wednesday shows. Tonight, Alexis Raptis over on the CF network. feel like she's gone MIA, and now she has this podcast launching with B. Sagafi and Guzan. Sounds like she switched coaches. Be interesting to hear from her. To that note, that Greg said about hard work, it was interesting the other day. You know, Avi's making like $10 a day on his YouTube channel, and it keeps growing every day. And want to take a spam call? Oh, hey. Yeah.
$1,000 a week to go to Iran. So
how much a week to go to Iran?
4 or 5 months. What's up?
How much did they offer you to go to Iran?
$3,000 a week.
Wow. To go to Iran for
5 months? Yup.
Are you taking it?
Hell no. I'm not gonna be able to come back and spend it.
Oh.
Fuck no.
Can you tell me who? Can you tell me who offered that? It's a private security firm?
Yeah. Private contractor.
Wow. I wonder how many of those emails went out. You think it's a lot?
Yeah. I mean, it's for a special operations medic. And then there was another one that said if you're SEAL qualified.
Wow. So that makes you think that it's going to be going on much longer than 3 weeks? That's what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, I stopped getting those emails about a year ago. I got some from Mexico, but also not taking that.
Hey,
but,
you don't think that just means like, hey, it's going to be over in 3 weeks, and then they're going to build an infrastructure of people there that there'll be some. Or are you insinuating that for sure 100% that we're going to be sending ground troops?
Dude, I think honestly, I think we'll be sending some troops, but I don't know, man. I'm out of the game, but I just got that contract. I'm like, I haven't gotten contracts in a year. So that's the only thing that makes me think like either private contracting is going to take over and we won't send anybody, or we're going to send people either way.
All right.
But
that's
a 5 month
that's a good insight.
Like a 5 month contract, dude, is crazy.
Well, how long are they usually? How long are they usually?
I mean, for the ones that I always got were like private security or special forces medic needed like at embassies and stuff for 6 months. But this one says location undisclosed. And it just says Middle East. And then it says the very first requirement on there says must have combat experience. So I was like, ooh, that's not good. And the second requirement says must be able to qualify with an AK-47 in an austere environment. I was like, yeah, we're not doing that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not fucked. No.
Is that a low rate or is that a high rate? How is that rate? Is that typical?
Yeah, I mean, the one in Mexico that I got a couple of weeks ago was private security, $1,100 a day. So that also is terrible. Like, you're not going to spend that money.
That is terrible. 1,100 a day is terrible.
Oh no, that's a lot of money.
Oh,
1,100 a day.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
too.
You're not going to fucking. You might not spend that money.
So 1,100 a day as opposed to 3,000 a week, which ends up being, what is that? $400 a day. That's $400 a day versus 1,100.
Yeah.
Okay, so 1/3.
Yeah. So the one in Mexico was like that was private security. So
all right,
no, man. I don't know, man. Yeah, I hope it doesn't last long because we got homies in 82nd just waiting, sitting around with packed bags. I'm sure.
Has anyone well, I was going to say, has anyone deployed? But of course, people have deployed. All the Navy's there.
Yeah, people deployed, but the 82nd, the Army, they're what they call the America's Guardians. They're able to deploy in 18 hours. Once they start going, then you're like, oh, shit, okay.
Hey, what would be the reason they would go? What would be the? It sounds like no one's coming to Iran's defense.
Like the last time we deployed them was whenever they hit the embassy back in like 2017 or 18. That rocket hit the embassy and those people were trapped in there. And they deployed a quick brigade out of 82nd in like 24 hours. And they came back in like 3 weeks. But that's the only time like they went. I think they're just doing a lot of what they did in Iraq initially, where we just bombed the fuck out of everybody.
Yeah.
And then we slept in with like the Marines in Baghdad and shit.
I don't think they're doing that this time.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not too.
I mean, I'm holding my DD-214 tight.
What's that? What's the DD?
That's my retirement paperwork.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sleeping with my DD-214 snuggled up with it. I ain't going back. Fuck that.
Jethro says, did Julia Cook ever deploy? That was a joke that Pool Boy said. She never deployed.
Yeah, I think no.
He was just joking.
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
Not that I know. I've known Julia for like 10 years. I don't think she's ever deployed. He's trained up, I think, but
yeah, he wrote on the show the other day that she was deploying, and then she wrote in the comments, "Stop it, stop lying."
She's in school, right?
Yeah.
I think she's in school right now. Yeah, she's in school right now.
I know it sounds like she's busy.
Yeah.
Just whenever I hear what she's doing, she's somewhere and doing something and she's busy.
Yeah. She's an officer. She'd be busy.
All right, dude. Thank you very much.
Yeah, brother. Take it easy, man.
Ciao. Bye. I want to tell a quick story about hard work. And maybe I'm delusional, but I come from a pedigree of hard workers. You know, my mom was an attorney, and every night when I went to bed, she was on the dining room table with all her court cases out. She'd be the first one awake in the morning and the last one to sleep. I was a latchkey kid. She was constantly working. My dad worked, as far as I can remember, 7 days a week. He opened his liquor and cheese store like a good Middle Eastern man, and closed it every night. And there were never days off. I would go to work with him on Christmas morning and Easter morning and just whatever day, just always working. And it wasn't even, it's not even like work. I was explaining to someone the other day, there's these people who compartmentalize their lives, and I get it. I'm not poo-pooing it, but I think my belief is that if you're compartmentalizing your life, you're probably not in the right field. Happiness is not is not going to be something you're ever going to experience. And by compartmentalize, you have a life where you have your job and then you take vacations 2 weeks a year or 2 weeks, twice a year. And your distinction is that you're on vacation or you're working. You're probably missing the boat on how fulfilled your life can be. Life should just be just one. It should just your existence. Everything should be always at that pinnacle of existence and presence. And of course, it ebbs and flows. And there's things you don't want to do, but you should still bring yourself there in its totality. You shouldn't be somewhere else while you're working. You shouldn't be a cashier somewhere and not doing it with love and enjoyment. And that's just been instilled in me from a young age. I'm not sure how. And then the other day, my son Avi, who has this YouTube channel, he was telling me some kids. He's like, man, if this kid did a YouTube channel like ours, he would be killing it. And I go, oh yeah, that would be a cool YouTube channel. And they said, and this kid did it, that would be cool. And then he stops and he goes, why aren't other kids doing what I'm doing? And I'm like, hey, dude, there's 10 million people out there, at least, who could have a YouTube channel that's way more popular than yours and grow as fast as yours. And I go, the only thing stopping them is just the work. And he couldn't even it made me so happy because he couldn't even get his head wrapped around. He's like, what do you mean the work? Like, well, you sit down and edit, you take your camera everywhere with you. And it resonated in me with today what Greg was saying. It's just all hard work. That's probably a misnomer to call it hard work. And it's probably an oversimplification to just find what you love and do it. But somewhere in there is a full existence. It always, when people be like, yeah, I had kids and I had to make sacrifices. I'm just like, what? Like, I don't even, like, what? You had to make, what? This is your life. You should not ever be making sacrifices in your life. I don't know the way to say it. Um, not going out at night to get drunk because you have a jiu-jitsu tournament or a performance in a play the next day. That's not a sacrifice. Like, what are you talking about? How have you partitioned your life like that and compartmentalized it? That is not where happiness is. 3 hours left on my drive to Ohio. This is me trying to buy your time to stay on. Oh boy. Because I'm very close. Kevin, part of parenting is having your kids see your hard work. Yeah, totally. 100%. Treading the path that takes you somewhere. The hard part is finding that path, in my opinion. Yeah. And my wife and I have been talking about this one a lot lately in the last month. And also having faith that you're on your path. Really having faith that you're on your path. And for me, it's more like, I don't know what's happened, but for me, it's more like just having real, just crazy acceptance that my kids are on their path. What's the Alexis Raptis podcast called? I don't know. I saw it scheduled. And I know I saw it scheduled today at 5 p.m. Is today, oh yeah, it's at 5 p.m. tonight. And it's on the CF network. It's just, Alexis Raptis Road to the Games. That's what someone titled it. And tomorrow there's going to be all sorts of shows. Oh, we should text Caleb and Souza. Can we get tomorrow's 3 shows scheduled? So tomorrow, I'll do a morning show. I don't know if I have a guest or not. And then we'll do a pre-show is tomorrow Thursday? Tomorrow's Thursday, right? And then we'll do, what time is the, I don't know what time the open is tomorrow. What time is the open tomorrow? Is it going to be 12 Pacific Standard Time again? Whenever it is, we will go an hour on, an hour before and chop it up. Then they'll do the live event. Then we'll come back and Taylor and Bryson will get at it. So same Groundhog Day, same routine. Oh, Magnus. You've been deeply inappropriate today. They're in Portugal too. Okay, noon Pacific Standard Time. Okay. 12 p.m. my time. Okay, yeah. So I'm sure we'll go 11 a.m. 26.2 pre-show. Then what time do you think we'll go? 12. You think they'll be done at 12:30? Let's say 12:35. 26.2 Taylor self. I better tell Taylor. We are doing pre-show and Taylor Bryson post-show tomorrow, right? Okay. Oh, did we? Oh, wow. Hunter McIntyre tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. That's crazy. Wow. Tomorrow is going to be so easy. He's the greatest. Wow. Tomorrow is going to be easy. Oh, my goodness. Tomorrow's going to be a crazy day. Wow. Great job today, Severu. Thank you. I had fun today. I think like 47% of what Greg said, I'm still like processing. So tomorrow, Hunter McIntyre. Very cool of him to come on. Wow. Super cool. And I think why is it stuck? Maybe I'll see if and then we're getting Keith Barlow scheduled. I'm pretty excited about that. He's the founder of Xenon. We'll get the exact pronunciation of that down too soon. I'm pretty excited about that.
Phone number 2.
All right. I was calling Hunter to thank him. He didn't answer. Straight to voicemail. Mr. Matosian, what are the odds that you can get Colton to wear meta glasses during semifinals, one of your team's broadcast, one person viewing experience? Holy shit. Wow. God, you're a fucking genius, dude. Wow. That's fucking brilliant. That's fucking brilliant. God, that's so smart. That's so smart. I think James Sprague's coming to NorCal.
Hello?
Mr. Mertens.
Hello?
Mr.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Is this Mr. Mertens?
I have no idea who Mr. Martins is. Is he cute?
Yeah, he's cute. He's really buff and fit. He's a pig farmer.
Wow, okay. Well, could you give him my cell phone number then, by chance?
Okay, I will. Oh, you know
Just
what?
kidding.
I got the number wrong. I got the last 4 numbers wrong. His is yours. Oh, I got the numbers backwards. Oh man. All right. Are you all right? Oh, you hung up. Got the number. Thought I was calling Colton. I called someone else in Iowa who wants to get laid. Colton's cute. He's more like I'd say he's more like rugged. He's more no, cute doesn't seem right. I don't have dyslexia. What the fuck are you talking about? I don't have dyslexia. Oh yeah, that makes more sense.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail.
All right. Hey, that's a great idea. I'm putting that in my notes. Yeah, God, Susan's gonna be like, really one more thing. Yeah, I'll see if we can run that through the video caster. Wouldn't that be crazy? Even like giving him to James Sprague at NorCal. I think James is coming to NorCal. James's dad got a little bent out of shape with all the F-bombs on the CrossFit Games post. That was kind of wild. Kind of surprised, kind of not surprised. Pat's a good dude. I don't have dyslexia, but I'd like to try it. Looks like fun. Yeah. You think you're squeezing the right boob, but it's really the left boob? With the mullet, Colton was an absolute showstopper. Now he's more like Ed Norton from American History X. Wow. Jenna Haka applauded Vandersloot's take on Hiller. I'm here for the drama. Let's roll. I have no idea what you're talking about. Did Vandersloot go after? Did he give Hiller not go after? Did he give Hiller some feedback? Feedback. Oh boy. When is Andrew on again? I don't know. That's probably not a bad idea. Oh, Jenny's post has it. Okay, here we go.
It was barbell spin in this case, like copycatting Hiller with no rep, like the no rep police stuff. And then I went on a spiral because while I think it's fine to police the pro athletes, the people that put themselves out there, right? Like if you're a public figure, go for it. But if you watch Hiller's most recent video, 80% of it is like someone in a gym or someone at their
in like
garage
800th place.
In not even 800th place.
Well, I'm saying like even like 800th place mass.
Wow, Angelo is a fucking Greek god. What is going on with him? That look is crazy. Damn, Angelo. Angelo's really feeling himself. He looks good. I know that's not the point of the video, but fuck, he looks striking there.
Masters, which is like
sure
5 or 8.
What happens if you're in 800th in one place and that person's ahead of you, though?
I don't care. Here's the thing. Hide behind the mirage of we care about the community. We want the best for CrossFit. We want more people to sign up for the Open. I think you should move with quality movement, but it should be on the gym owner and the coaches to make sure their athletes are safe, not on some on the internet. Not some guy on the internet who's hiding behind some greater than thou persona. He's like, what do you think about it was barbell spin in this case, like copycatting Hiller?
Hey, they did go overboard. You can't not agree with Vandersloot. They've gone completely overboard. They've gone completely fucking overboard. I honestly don't know what they're doing. And if you're commenting on posts, let me show you something. If Hiller's all about the views, let me show you a post I saw the other day. I just started following this girl. What's that girl's name? There's a girl who is doing the Open at Mayhem. She's probably got an extra 100 pounds on her and she's crushing it. Fuck, what the fuck is that girl's name? I just started following her. She's only got like 1,000 followers. I wish I could follow her name. I wonder if Mayhem reposted it. But I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, is it Mayhem affiliate? Did you think? I don't know if Mayhem reposted it with her. Her post has like 860 comments. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? She's doing the wall balls and box jumps. She's jumping to a 4-inch box. And she even says, hey, I know I'm not getting full range of motion, but fuck it. Like I'm doing what I can do. Wait, now we're okay with shit movement? No, we're not okay with shit movement. It's not like that. It's not black and white like that. It's not binary like that. It's not binary like that. Hey, it's not binary like that. It's not I've always agreed with Hiller that like this is like there's a different and I think Hiller acknowledges this and maybe he should acknowledge it more to get himself some cover. And I respect Hiller for this. There's a difference between just moving in your gym and working day to day to get better and get better range of motion, full range of motion and follow the rules. And then I think in the past, Hiller and I've talked about that. And then you have to distinguish between the test. And when you're taking the test, you know, and you want to like validate yourself through the test, you should be you should be following the rules. You know, if that's what you want, and if you're going to participate in the test. But there is a line. There is a line. And this girl at Mayhem, she's 100 lbs over her probably her ideal weight. She's going as hard as she can, and there's fucking 862 comments telling her, "You go, girl." And so it's easy to sit here and say in the comments, I disagree. If you put an RX score and post a video with tons of no reps, then I'm gonna be pissed. Yeah. No, not me. I'm not going to be pissed at all. The mental gymnastics you're trying to pull won't make up for what Hiller's trying to do in that realm. He's not trying to do that. Well, you believe his notion that he's trying to do whatever. I don't know what your notion is, what he's trying to do. It's similar to the nutrition discussion we had today in the chat. No, listen. It's okay to show the full range of motion and to try to help, but it's gone beyond the help. I promise you, there's no world in which Spin is doing that to help people. He's doing it completely for engagement. There crosses a line, and for each his own, where you're not helping people, and you're just doing it because, like, out of habit. You know what I mean? Like a guy who's like, it's like just shooting squirrels for no reason. You know what I mean? It's like hunting for sport rather than nutrition. No, but maybe a category not going full ROM. Maybe, but it's just the using some discretion with who you go after, I think is what Vandersloot is saying. Hey, you just use some discretion. Like you want to get a point across. Really, was it worth calling that person out? Like, how? Like there wasn't something better you could use. And maybe you're right. I haven't been following. Hiller was showing multiple women in 50 to 54 category who had top 100 scores in the division. No one was showing depth. Yeah, totally fair. I'm with you on that. Totally fair. But I still don't care, me personally. I'm just telling you, like, me personally. I do care when if it's someone I know who's in the top 20. I still don't care unless it's like, oh shit, we're Austin Hatfield, Colton, Jason, Dallin. Like that. Like, me personally, I'm just telling you, I don't care. I don't care. Yeah. Rhonda Patrick. Yeah. He went after Rhonda Patrick. Yeah. I thought that was stupid. I personally thought that was stupid. I thought it was stupid. You sound like a liberal now. CrossFit, you would know, and I accept that from you because you sound like a liberal. You're the most offended you're the most libtard. You're the biggest libtard in the fucking group, dude. So I appreciate that feedback. I'll respect that from you. If you took the time to set up a camera, angle it, measure the distance for the box, upload the video, yet don't squat to depth, knowing there are written standards, then your video should get a 0. I'm not opposed to that, but I'm also not, like, I don't care if they don't get a 0, unless they're in the top 100 or 200. I don't care. Yeah, Cross, you win. Yeah. You are the ultimate, CrossFit, you're the ultimate easily offended, curmudgeon, angry. Like, hey, dude, we all know your life sucks. And so if you see a little part of me that you're like, hey, Sevi, you could work on that, I recognize that. You're like the smoker who's telling me, Sevi, don't smoke. I respect you for that. Thank you. Yeah, I gave myself a 0. I wouldn't have I wasn't planning on giving myself a 0. But I was going to give myself all the box jump ups, but then someone told me that if you don't do the first rep, none of the reps after that count. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. I just like doing it and like how anxious I get about it and that it's taking me out of my comfort zone. But I do care for the people who are trying to fucking get to the quarterfinals. Or maybe I don't care about them either. Semifinals, maybe care, but people get into the games. Correct. You didn't complete any of the initial work. Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Hey, it's like this. It's like this. Let me translate what Vandersloot's saying. We've all seen the videos. We've seen the videos where a guy steals something from a store, and then another guy chases him out and punches him in the face and knocks him to the ground and says, "Don't come in here again." And we're like, "Yay, that's cool," right? And then there's the video where guy steals something from the store, guy goes out there, punches him in the face, and when the guy's unconscious, he fucking kicks him in the head. And we're like, not cool. That's where we've gone. That's where we've entered that realm. People are getting kicked in the face when they're already out. It's like, hey, dude, someone's fucking 100 pounds overweight. Someone's fucking doing their best. It's some dude who had a stroke 3 years ago. It's someone's first open. And you're going to make this part of their experience? Like, you really give a fuck? Like, listen, you really give a fuck? Send them a fucking DM. Hey, here's 2 weeks free to Hiller Fit. And maybe he does do this. Here's 2 weeks free to Hiller Fit training. I can get you to squat below parallel. So, there you go. Love you guys. Talk to you guys later. I'll see you tonight, 5 p.m. Alexis Raptis. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.